Moving to Arizona and you're worried about scorpions? I was too, so stick around because I'm going to give you a lot of information so that you and your family don't get stung. Hey YouTube friends, I am back and today we are going to talk about scorpions and how to prevent them from being in your house. So I am new to YouTube. My channel is about 60 days old, so if you're here, make sure you like and subscribe and comment and tell me if you have topics you want me to cover or if you still have questions about Arizona, because I will get those answered for you. Now, in my pros and cons video, I said I knew a lot about how to prevent scorpions from coming in your house. But I am not a pest control company. I am not a pest control expert. I'm a realtor. So I'm going to tell you everything that I know, but if you have other questions, I have the resources to point you in the direction of. So first of all, scorpions are just kind of native to Arizona, right? They've been around for centuries. We're not getting rid of them. They can live in water for like 48 hours, which just as a note, if you ever see one at the bottom of your pool, don't think that it's dead and you can just pick it up. You don't want to do that because it could still be alive and sting you. Again, don't be scared. I know it's so, you're like, Melissa, I'm not coming here, right? So anyway, that being said, now I lost my train of thought, but I'm going to keep going because I want to do this in one take. It's impossible for you not to buy a home in Arizona that would have no scorpions. Like one house could have them and they're very territorial, and the next house could have none. And then that neighbor could move. Maybe that house was spraying a lot for them and you get a new neighbor and they don't spray at all for them, and then they start coming and then you get more. Like, so it's very dependent on so many factors, and you just can't prevent 100% of all pests from coming to your house. But there are things you can do to protect your own home from them coming in, and the goal is to keep them outside so that you don't get stung unexpectedly. Most of the time people get stung when they're walking across the floor and they get, stung on the foot, or they're reaching inside something, like if it's outside and it's like a pool, a storage area or something, and they don't realize that one's sitting there. So it's not usually where they're just crawling all over the house unless you're not taking any measures and the house is just infested. So I have stories that I won't share right now. But if you see a lot of geckos outside in your yard, that's a great thing because geckos actually eat scorpions. If you see a lot of crickets outside, they feed on crickets. So you want to take care of crickets, and that will slow down the scorpions. If you have cats and they're outside cats, they also will eat scorpions. So that's one method of kind of controlling them. But one scorpion can produce 50 babies. So if you see a scorpion, you don't want to let it live. And I hate to say that because my rule of thumb for pests is usually if you come in my house, that's my territory, like a spider, and I will squish you. But if you're outside, that's your territory and I will help you live. So with the scorpions coming in, if you're even in my yard, I'm going to take care of it because I just can't take that risk. But so number one on my list is there are companies, and they are pest control companies, that will seal your house. And what that means is they go around the house, look for any crevices that scorpions could come in. So scorpions can flatten themselves and come in anything the size of a width of a credit card. So like if you have a older door frame, and they could squeeze underneath that. They could squeeze in a doggy door, a window seal, anywhere. So they're gonna look at any cracks around the house and they're gonna make sure everything's filled so that they're not squeezing in that way. Then they're gonna go up in the attic, and anytime a scorpion falls in a bed, and again, not to be like creepy crawly scary, typically it's because it's fallen out of the vent. So you could always not put your bed under a vent, but with the size of bedrooms, that might not be possible, but they'll put mesh over those vents so that they can't fall through, and then they kind of stay in the attic, and hopefully you can keep them from getting in the attic in the first place. So, one would be seal the house, have a company do that. Now it's not cheap. I think you're probably looking, back in the day, it was like $700 or $800, so it's probably more than that now. I haven't priced it recently. So pest control companies, you can always hire. So that's number two. They will come out. There's tons of companies out here. Some are very green, others use more chemicals. Some come out monthly, some come out quarterly, but the ones that come out quarterly usually will come out if you see one and you call them. They usually guarantee their work, so they'll come out and respray. So you can always hire, and they probably run $50 or $60 a month. Just add it to your service list of how you're taking care of your home. If you don't want to do that, then you can DIY it, and that's what I'm going to dig into a little bit more. That's what my family does. We've always done our own. So other than we did have our old house sealed, we have been lucky in this house. We usually have been able to keep them outside. I'll probably have one inside tonight because I just jinxed myself. But a good old happy hammer will squish them. The only caveat to that is you can see, and I'll try to post a picture here of a mama. If it looks like it has things on its back, those are probably babies. And if you squish it with a hammer, those babies will scatter. And that happens with spiders as well, and you don't want to do that. And that's my dog growling, I apologize. So my favorite thing to do, and this is funny because my dad comes out from Indiana and it's like an activity for him to do, is do Blacklight. So here is a handy dandy Blacklight. You can buy them at Lowe's or Home Depot. They probably are gonna run you about $15. It's like a flashlight, but obviously it makes the scorpions glow. So you can go through your whole entire backyard and they'll glow, and you squish them, because if you kill one, you prevent 50 more from coming, and you can slow them down amazingly, like a great deal that way. So we don't do it that often because at our old house, we had quite a bit more scorpions than we do at our current house. We've been here 6 years now. We're starting to see some more. I'm not sure why that is. But so you can go around, kind of mitigate that way and keep them under control. Obviously, if you are seeing a lot of them, that's when you're gonna wanna go more to the chemical route. So on the chemical route, you can go to the bug and weed store. So there's one in Gilbert, there's one in Mesa. They sell the same type of chemicals that your pest control companies sell. You can also buy them on Amazon or online. Psychic, it's C-Y-K-I-C-K, I believe, is the same chemical that they spray. Now, obviously there's directions. You don't want your pets to hit it while it's wet, but it's safe for pets once it dries. There's another chemical that's a powder called DE, it's diatomaceous earth, and that is safe for pets, but it shows a white powder. So scorpions are unlike other insects where they do not lick themselves to clean themselves. So what the DE and the Psychic does is it basically eats their exoskeleton and kind of dries them out from the outside in, and it kills them that way. So it's not an immediate thing that just drops them dead. It takes some time. So again, go back to the hammer. If you actually see one, you might want to just squish it. But those things are available where if you don't want to pay a company, it's less expensive to go and you can just mitigate the pest control on your own. So it's kind of up to you. Again, what you and your family feel is necessary for your home, and you might want to get into that home and just see. Now on the seller disclosures, they are supposed to mark whether or not they see scorpions on the house. Whether or not they do or not, they're supposed to. And a lot of times they'll just say, you know, we use a company to spray. So again, as a realtor, I say assume you're going to have them, and then hope for the best and treat if necessary. But lastly, we do also get the little sticky pads, so you can order them on Amazon, or if you hire a company, you can ask them for them. They're basically just little pads. Don't step on them, you will stick. And I put them in the corner of the garages. So you don't want to have them in your house, they're ugly, but in the corner of the garages, and then any of the little bugs that kind of creep into the garage, stick to it, and then you can just pick them up, throw them away every month or every 2 months, depending on how bad they get. It catches all of the spiders, all of the scorpions, all of the little crickets and things, and kind of just helps them not come into the house. So I hope all of this was helpful. Again, it's one take, so I don't know if I missed anything or not, but I wanted to get it quick and out today because I've got a busy day. I got to go show some homes. So Stick around again, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll bring you some new videos soon. Bye.